Hey you, and welcome to a yoga practice for when you've done too much. All you need today is 2 blocks. You can leave them off to the side of your mat and we'll begin in child's pose. So coming through all fours, you can plant your hands at the top of the mat, bring the big toes to connect, the knees to the borders of the mat, and press the hips back to the heels. Allow the forehead to grow heavy and melt down to the mat between the biceps, and mark the beginning of your practice with a long, slow inhale, feeling the belly press against the thighs as the lungs fill up, and a cleansing exhale. And just set the intention to be gentle with yourself, because this practice is for those times when you've done a little bit too much, you've overextended, your body feels depleted, your mind feels stretched thin, you're running low on energy, or you've been giving more than you've been receiving. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is to rest and trust that this time is just as valuable as time spent working. This practice invites you to slow down, soften, and restore so you feel replenished when you leave your mat. So start this practice today by giving yourself permission to release any sense of needing to achieve, and instead allow this time to be an offering of rest back to yourself. On your next inhale, lift your forehead, and we're going to take the left arm and draw a big sweeping circle, lifting the hips away from the heels, and then settle back into your child's pose, lowering your hips and your left hand. Keep it nice and slow. Let's do one on the right side as well. Inhale to circle the arm. Exhale, return to Balasana. A few more rounds, alternating arms and moving with your breath, keeping everything slow and smooth, imagining like you're painting a big, beautiful circle in the air with the hand that's moving around. Now let's do one more on the left side. Inhale, lift the hips, sweep the left arm up. This time pause, and we're going to thread the left arm underneath the right. Thread the needle in child's pose so you can go ahead and sink the hips back down to the heels, lay the left ear on the floor, and walk the right hand towards the top of the mat. Take a few slow breaths here, noticing the release through the back of the shoulder and across the upper spine. Think about firming the back of the left arm down into the mat to deepen the twist. And so if you feel like you've been doing too much lately, it's easy to keep pushing forward. But here, as we hold, the invitation is the opposite. Allow yourself to let go, gravity to hold you, and your body to soften into support. Now we're going to come up to a kneeling position, so you can lift your left cheek off the mat, take your left hand to the right shoulder, cross the right arm over top, and grab onto the left shoulder. Settle the sits bones onto the heels and either keep this position or find eagle arms, bringing the hands together in front of your face. From here, tuck the chin and look down to the space between the biceps. Reach the forearms towards the top of the mat and then the fingertips slightly up so you feel a space open up between the shoulder blades. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Imagine the breath is rinsing out fatigue and tension, creating space where you may hold the weight of doing, carrying, and giving. Lift your chin, uncross the arms as you exhale. Inhale to circle the arms up and overhead. Sit up tall, lengthen through the sides of the waist. Twist towards your left side, taking your right hand to the outside of the left thigh and your left fingertips to the mat behind you. Just a moment in this twist, you can take the gaze out over the left shoulder, and then keep your left fingertips down behind you. Reach your right hand forward, turning the palm up, and then sweeping the hand back as you find a slight back bend, leaning the shoulders back. Allow your gaze to follow the line of the left hand. As you exhale, take a cartwheeling motion with the hands, bringing them to prayer position and rising up onto your knees. Extend your left leg out to the side with the sole of the foot flat on the floor in this half-kneeling position, and inhale to take the arms overhead. Exhale, left hand slides down the outside of the left leg as you reach the right arm up and over. Just a breath here without collapsing. Envision lifting the ribcage away from the hips. And use the energy of your next inhale to rise back up, reaching both arms overhead. Exhale, plant your hands shoulder width apart on the mat. Mindfully lift your left leg up, extend it towards the back of the mat, and then lower the left knee back down to tabletop. Give yourself a moment to take any kind of movement that feels good. You can rock forward and back, you could do a couple rounds of cat-cow, or simply hold in stillness. And then we'll meet back in a child's pose, reconnecting the big toes, taking the knees a little bit wider and sending the hips back to the heels, dropping the forehead down. Let's go back to those big circles. So as you inhale, this time starting with the right arm, draw a big sweeping arc and lower the right hand back down, drop the forehead and the hips to the heels. Alternating sides for another few rounds of breath, noticing if this time perhaps the shoulders feel a little bit more open, almost like you've begun to unlock something in the body. Alright, my friends, let's do one more on the right side. Big inhale, reach up, pause at the top. And this time as you exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left. Keeping the palm to face up, send the hips all the way back to the heels. Relax the right cheekbone down to the mat. You can crawl the left hand forward so the left arm is straight. And just peek out through that little window of space between the left arm and the mat. This is a moment to surrender. So again, release the desire we have to sometimes keep going and keep working, and allow yourself to just melt down. We're going to make our way back to a kneeling position, this time taking the right hand to the left shoulder and the left hand to the right. Coming to a kneeling position with the elbows stacked, connect the sits bones to the heels, and you can find eagle arms if you'd like, or keep hands on opposite shoulders. Pull the elbows forward and fingertips up, and then drop the chin to the chest to elongate the back of the neck, gazing down to the space between the biceps. If you're still in work mode, try to make this little switch in your mind to allow the stretch to come from softening rather than from forcing. Exhale to uncross the arms, and then big sweeping inhale to reach the arms overhead. Keep the sits bones on the heels, turn towards your right side. Your right hand can find the mat behind you, and your left hand to the outside of the right knee or thigh. A gentle lift through the crown of the head on the inhale, like you're trying to open up more space between the vertebrae of your spine. And then take your left hand forward with the palm facing up, lift your hand up towards the sky, lean the shoulders back, gaze follows the fingertips. Exhale, windmill action with the hands, bring them to a prayer position, come up onto your knees, and this time we'll open the right leg out to the side with the leg straight and the foot flat on the floor. Inhale, take the arms overhead, lengthen down the sides of the body, and without collapsing, slide your right hand down the outside of the right leg, reach the left fingertips up and over. Inhale, almost like you're rebounding, come back up, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, place both hands on the mat, firm them down into the floor so you can re-extend your right leg to the back, and then tap your right knee down. Tuck your toes under behind you, dip the belly down, pull the chest forward, and look to the front of the mat as you breathe in. Exhale, ripple through the spine, tucking the chin, pulling the navel in for cat pose. Inhale, cow, lifting the tail, dragging the heart forward, chin away from the chest. Exhale to coil it all in, press down through the hands to spread the shoulder blades wide. Again, inhale, belly down, maybe even pressing down through the undersides of the toes to feel a stretch in the arches of the feet. And exhale, round, tucking your tail down, chin to chest. Keep on going for a few more rounds, letting this be slow and unhurried, just following, listening to the rhythm of your own breath. Think less about making it really big and exaggerated and more about how it feels. Creating circulation through the spine, releasing tension in the hips, shoulders, hands, and knees that you may not have realized you were even holding. Come back to a neutral spine position, keeping the hips lined up over top of the knees. Begin to walk your hands towards the top of the mat. You can lower the elbows down or keep the arms straight and rest either your forehead or your chin on the mat for puppy pose. Take a slow breath in, feeling the spine lengthen. Draw the navel in to support the lower back. And as you exhale, allow the heart to melt closer toward the earth. Release any expectations you have of yourself of how this posture should look or the aesthetic of it. Focus instead on the sensation in the shoulders, the neck, the spine. There's no goal in this posture. The practice here is surrender. Letting yourself be okay and feel like you're doing enough exactly as you are right here. Gently lift your forehead, take your gaze to the top of the mat, and ripple your spine forward. We're coming all the way to a Sphinx pose. So you can allow a little rounding through the upper back as you release the thighs, the front of the hips, and the lower ribs to the mat. Keep the elbows lined up under the shoulders and untuck your toes. Now you can stay in this more traditional Sphinx, or sometimes when I'm doing a more restorative practice, I like to support the forehead with a block. So you can take a block either on the medium or the highest height. Just dip the chin to the chest and allow the forehead to rest on the support of the block. Know that it's okay to lean, it's okay to rest, and it's okay to use support, to not be holding everything up all the time. Let this surrender in this shape serve as a reminder of this for you. Take a slow breath in through the nose, feeling the ribs expand sideways into the mat. And as you exhale slowly without pushing the forehead down, just allow the weight of the head to sink fully into the block beneath you. Inhaling again and noticing a gentle lift through the chest, a widening of the collarbones, not from effort, but just from the natural expansion that comes with the inhale. Exhale, feel the back body grow heavier, allow the mat to hold you completely. Pay attention to your transition, because these moments in between, how you get there is just as important as where you end up. So lift your forehead up, you can move your block off to the side. Ease the chest and the chin all the way down to the mat, and take your hands a little wider, sticking the elbows up to the ceiling, coming up onto tented fingertips. Inhale to peel your chin, your chest, your ribs up off the mat, coming up as high as you comfortably can, maybe just a little if that's all your body wants today. Exhale to release with control. Again, inhale, shoulders down away from the ears, pull the heart forward, and as you exhale, imagine you're dragging the ribcage to the top of the mat, spine is long. Last round like that, inhale, slowly peel up, chin away from the chest, and exhale, drag it forward, bend the elbows, lower down with control. Take both of your hands, stack them at the top of the mat to make a little pillow that you can rest your forehead on top of. Allow your toes to turn out to the sides. And even though we're in stillness here and it's a relatively simple pose, notice the residue, the subtle echoes of those oscillating cobras you just took. Feel the gentle wave of movement that traveled through your spine, how it still lingers in the shoulders, the chest, and the back. You don't have to do anything now, just sense these after effects, the release, and the space that's been created. And just as a little treat for the lower back, you can keep your forehead relaxed down, just bend your knees and windshield wiper or flop your feet from side to side a couple times. You can allow the hips to sway and wiggle side to side, pouring the weight over from the right to the left. Let that one go, dropping the feet back down to the mat. Lift your forehead so you can plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up through all fours. Downward dog is where we're going to end up, so you can walk your knees in a little bit, spread your fingers out wide. Tuck your toes under, float your knees up off the mat, and then press the hips back in space, finding Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Find a comfortable position for the head. You can shake it yes and no a couple times, and then allow the gaze to rest on one spot between the toes, little tuck of the chin to the chest. Pedal out the legs, and again really notice here how everything in the body is connected. So feel this in the backs of the toes as you pedal it over to one side, how that stretches through the arch of the foot, the ankle, how that connects to the calf, to the knee, to the hamstring, all the way up to the hips. All of these little bits of sensory information adding up to create your bodily experience. Take your gaze up to the top of the mat and take a couple steps to land in a forward fold, Uttanasana. Bending the knees generously, especially if you're feeling pulling in the hamstrings or the backs of the knees. Grab onto opposite elbows and imagine like your elbows are the heaviest part of the body as you let the arms hang down. The hip creases gently lift up towards the sky, and you can add a little rock side to side. Just for today, keep this rocking motion small and slow, really noticing the effect this has on the lower back. And then just let the hands drop back down to the floor, tuck your chin, and slowly uncurl the spine, rising up to stand, reaching the arms up to the sky at the top. Bend your elbows, cactus the arms, and squeeze the shoulder blades together. You can bend the knees, and then allow the chest to pour forward, dropping back down into your forward folds. We're going to do that twice more, so inhale to roll up, stay rooted through the feet, reach the fingertips up, bend your knees, cactus the arms, open up the chest, and pour the heart forward over the thighs. Drop your head in your hands at the bottom. One more time, inhale, slowly uncurl, reach up at the top. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, open up the front of the body, and exhale to pour down to your Uttanasana. This next time, we're going to roll up the stand. Again, as you fill up the lungs, you can reach the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms to touch. This time, as you exhale, trace your hands down to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Let's take the hands to the hips for a moment and then reorient yourself, stepping your feet wide to face the long edge of your mat. Turn the toes out and the heels in, and then drop the tailbone down as you sit down into this plie squat or this goddess squat. You can take your hands to your thighs with the fingertips facing in and the thumbs pointing back, and then begin to allow the left shoulder to wrap in towards the midline as you bend the right elbow and look to the right. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, right arm straight, bend the left elbow and look to the back of your mat. Inhale, coming up through center. Exhale, keep on alternating side to side. Keep the hips low and heavy, and you can actually allow the shoulders to kind of scrunch up towards the ears in this movement so that you get a beautiful stretch down the sides of the body, from the shoulder all the way down to the hip. Finish off this last one, come back through center, drive down through the soles of your feet so you can rise up tall, reaching the arms overhead, turn your toes forward, and exhale to fold right from the hip creases. Drop your hands to the floor, wide-legged forward fold. Place your hands under your shoulders, lift up halfway on the inhale. And as you exhale, walk over towards your left foot. You can frame the foot with your hands, lower the right knee down. Inhale to reach the arms overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms, open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Again, big sweeping inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus, and melt the shoulders down away from the ears. One more time, inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, send the hips forward, shoulders back as you open up into this cactus shape. This time, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, take the hands down to frame the left foot. Depending on your proportions, you may have to scoot your right knee back just a little bit so you can straighten out the left leg and the right hip ends up stacked over top of the right knee for half split. As you inhale, lengthen out through the spine, chin away from the chest. Again, the sense of dragging your ribcage forward, and as you exhale, you can fold deeper over the thigh, finding a soft bend in the elbows. Great, we're just going to retake that lunge so you can bend into the left knee, flatten the left foot to the floor, curl the hands forward so you can lift your right knee off the mat. Pivot through your wide-legged forward fold. This time as we hang out here, bring a little more weight forward into the balls of the feet. If you don't need your hands on the floor, you can sweep them behind the back, interlace, and allow gravity to begin to pull the knuckles away from the lower back so you get this nice opening across the front of the shoulders. For a different kind of sensation, you can take a little sway side to side. Keep this a little smaller and more contained, and just notice how it changes the sensation. Guide the hands back in towards the lower back, unclasp them, and lower your hands under your shoulders for a halfway lift on the inhale. This time pivoting towards the right foot, you can walk your hands to the top of the mat, turn all 10 toes forward, and lower your left knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reach the arms overhead in your low lunge. Exhale, melt the heart forward and the shoulders back, cactusing the arms. Again, big sweeping inhale, draw the navel in. Exhale, pull the shoulders back as you bend the elbows. One more time, inhale to sweep it up, melt the hips forward. Exhale to cactus the arms. Find length as you reach overhead on your next inhale, and then exhale to ground the hands on either side of the right foot. Scoot your left knee back a little bit if you need, and then pull the hips towards the back of the mat, flexing the right toes, half split. Remember, especially in today's practice, it's not about depth and it's not about aesthetic. Let go of any efforting or any performance that you might be putting on right now. The need to push further than what feels nourishing. Find something that feels good in your body today. And stay there for one more round of breath. And now let's retake the lunge on the right side, so you can lunge into your right knee, crawl the hands forward, tuck your left toes, and lift the back knee. Step your left foot forward and find your forward fold, folding the chest over the thighs, letting the head hang heavy. Inhale to lift halfway, hands to the shins, draw the navel in, pull the shoulders onto the back. Exhale to bend the knees, plant the hands, and simply step one foot back and then the other into your downward facing dog. Walk your feet a little closer together, and as you inhale, sweep the right leg up to the sky. Bend your right knee, allow the right hip to stack on top of the left, pointing the toes over towards the left side of the mat to start. And you can either stay right there, just allowing the hips to open up, or take the right knee in slow rolling circles. If the hip is feeling really sticky, make your circles a little bit smaller. Just make sure you're not flinging the knee around in circles, so smooth, controlled movement. Go for a couple in the opposite direction. And then keeping the right knee bent, look forward and deliver your right knee just behind the right wrist, coming into a pigeon pose. So the shin to the top of the mat. You can move your left knee back and lower the right thigh down to the mat. Come up onto tented fingertips as you inhale, just lift through the chest. Exhale, bend the elbows and roll your pigeon down. Push down through the fingers as you inhale to peel your chest up, bring the head up last. And exhale to bend the elbows and lower back down with control. Should feel good in the lower back. One more time, inhale, peel it up, open your heart, squeeze the shoulders back and down, and exhale to gently melt down to the mat. This time we stay down here so you can bring the elbows down to the floor, stack your hands or your fists, and rest your forehead there to release any tension in the neck. Making that subtle switch in the mind from doing to being. So if you notice any doing creeping in, if you're trying to stretch farther or force into the shape, can you step away from that? Notice how this shape invites surrender to gravity, how your body can melt down into the support of your mat. Let the breath reach and travel to places that have been working too hard. Your glutes, maybe the lower back, sides of the body, or the shoulders. And with each exhale, let them release more. Lift your forehead up, start to walk your hands back in towards you. Put your right hand over to the right side so you can kind of lean over to the right. Lift up your left leg and then extend the sole of the left foot to the top left corner of the mat, dropping your left glute down to the floor. Take the left hand to the inner right thigh and then reach the right arm up and over. Pressing down through the left hand, reaching up and over with the right fingertips so you get this delicious stretch down both sides of the waist. As you inhale, you can come back up. Let your right hand find the mat behind you. Sweep the left arm up and then arc it all the way back as you lift the hips, driving the right shin down into the floor, finding a little supported wild thing. As you exhale, you can release your hips back down to the earth gently. Keep your right knee bent in front of you and then cross the left leg over top of the right. So we want to try to come to the outside edge of both feet. However, if you need to place your left foot flat on the floor with the knee pointing up, you can do so instead. Make sure the left sit bone is grounded and you can place your hands on your feet with your thumbs on the soles of the feet and the other 4 fingers on the tops of the feet. And you're gonna love this. Give yourself the nicest kind of self-massage with the thumbs against the soles of the feet. You can massage into different pressure points or move the thumbs in small circles, inviting warmth and circulation to the feet and the ankles. Imagining the energy of overworking leaving the body. Feel this ripple of care moving up through the legs, through the knees, into the hips, like a small act of kindness for the parts of you that carry strain from day to day. Keep your feet where they are. Put your hands on the floor in front of the shins now, and if you've got the space, walk forward a little bit more without rolling forward onto the knees. So you want to keep your glutes grounded. You may bring the elbows down to the mat. I like to use a block underneath the forehead to give the head something to rest on. However, if you find that the forehead doesn't come all the way down to a block, you could stack 2 of them or just let your head hang in space. You might feel quite a bit of intensity in the outer corners of the hip. Soften what you can. So the soles of the feet, the spaces between all 10 toes, the shoulders, the neck, and the jaw, unclenching the teeth so there's a little space between the top and bottom teeth, and letting the tongue rest in the back of the mouth. And on your next inhale, you can lift your forehead up off the block, move it off to the side. We're going to roll forward, step your right foot back, and then the left, pressing the hips back into downward facing dog, hanging the head between the arms. This time as you inhale, sweep your left leg up towards the sky, point your toes, bend the knee, reaching left toes to the right side of the mat, allowing the hip to kind of yawn open and stack on top of the right. And then you can take those circles. Let this be exploration without expectation. So if the hips are feeling really sticky or tight, make your circles a little bit smaller. Keep them smooth. Let's do a couple in the opposite direction. And then preparing for your pigeon, take an inhale, look to the left hand. Exhale to draw the left knee down just behind the left wrist. You can set your shins down. You may need to scoot your right knee back a couple times. Come up onto tented fingertips with the thumbs facing in. As you inhale, lift the chest, and as you exhale, pour it forward, bending the elbows. Tuck your chin, inhale, slowly peel up, head comes up last. Exhale, bend the elbows, pour it forward, long through the spine. Inhale one more time, rolling up. And exhale, finding this oscillating motion as you come down, this time to stay. You can lower the elbows down to the mat, grab a block for under your forehead, or stack your hands. Let your forehead rest on something as you soften and surrender into the sensation of this shape. Remember, we want this pigeon today to be very passive, so no need to force anything, no need to push yourself deeper than where your body is ready to go. And even the breath can become passive. So rather than feeling like the inhale and the exhale are an action that you're taking, allow your body to feel like it's being breathed. The inhale and exhale just washing over you like waves washing onto the shore. Take your time coming up. You can lift your forehead, walk your hands back in towards you as you lift your chest away from the left thigh. Take your left hand over to the left side of the mat. Lean over to the left so you can sweep your right leg around like a karate kick so the heel comes to the top right corner of the mat. Place your right hand on the inner left knee or thigh and then reach the left arm up and over, stacking the shoulders and sending your gaze skyward as you inhale. Firming both sits bones down into the mat, maybe reaching a little further as you exhale. And then next inhale, come up, place your left hand down behind you, sweep the right hand forward and then arc it all the way up and back as you open up, gazing towards the right hand fingertips, sending the hips forward and the chest up to the sky. Exhale to soften the hips back down to the earth, keep the left knee bent in front, and then bend your right knee and cross it over. If you can, roll to the outside edge of the right foot, otherwise your right foot can stay flat on the floor. Finding your cow face legs with the knees stacked, grab onto your feet, again thumbs on the soles of the foot, and you can take another opportunity here for that beautiful self-massage. Softening into this act of self-care that's coming from you and being given to you. Let it go, and you can place both of your palms on the floor in front of your shins. Now, if there is space, you can come a little further forward, walking the hands out. Option to bring the elbows down to the floor, and you can grab a support for the forehead if the head is feeling heavy. Again, if your forehead doesn't meet the block, without crunching forward through the spine, you can just let your head hang down in space, a gentle tuck of the chin to the chest. Stay here for several slow breaths, inviting a sense of spaciousness along the spine, across the lower back, the outer hips, and the backs of the legs. Lighten up your forehead from the block as you inhale. You can move your block off to the side, and then take your hands behind you with the fingertips facing the top of the mat. Uncross your legs and plant your footprints on the floor, hip distance apart. As you exhale, we're going to lift the hips up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, gaze straight upwards, opening up the chest, and then gently soften the hips back down. Straighten the legs in front of you. Inhale to reach up long through the sides of the waist. Sits bones stay grounded as you hinge forward from the hips, reaching to the space beyond the toes, and then grabbing onto whatever's nearby, so maybe the soles of the feet, or maybe simply lowering the hands down to the floor. There's no need to reach further than your body allows for today. Remember, the focus with this whole practice is ease, not depth. So notice if the legs, lower back, or shoulders are carrying any fatigue from overextending. Honor your limits in this pose. Surrender into the support of the mat and breathe into the areas that need a little bit more gentle care. Remember that surrender is not giving up, it's giving over, it's trusting, letting the breath guide you where your hands and muscles no longer need to. Slowly rise up. You can keep a little rounding through the spine so the chin tucked if you'd like. And then open the knees out to the sides, bring the soles of the feet together, grab onto the ankles for Baddha Konasana. Inhale for a subtle lift and lengthening through the spine. And just for a moment, exhale, hinge forward. Allow the body to round forward over the legs, dropping the forehead towards the mat. Your next inhale is going to roll you back up. Again, keeping the chin tucked, upper back rounded. Keep the legs as they are and slowly lower yourself all the way down to the back for Supta Baddha Konasana. You can drop your hands down to the floor beside you, letting the arms land where they land, allowing the knees to open out to the sides. You can close your eyes now and let your body rest. Remember, this time is for you, so don't let anyone or anything that's not happening in this moment take this time away from you. Leave all of that off to the side. I promise it will still be there to deal with once your practice is over. Bring the hands to the outer thighs. You can close the knees up like a book and then draw them in towards the chest. Press the lower back down into the floor. And then extend the legs and the arms up towards the sky with the ankles over top of the hips, wrists over top of the shoulders. Give yourself a little shake and a little shimmy. Our last little bit of movement today so you can let it all out. That's it. One more inhale to wiggle around. And exhale, stillness, keeping the arms and legs suspended. This is a perfect shape for this practice because after doing too much, physically, mentally, emotionally, it creates a safe, supported space to restore and integrate. It reverses circulation, calms your nervous system, and allows the lower back and legs, which are often parts of the body that hold a lot of stress, to rest deeply. Final inhale here, feeling the back ribs press down into the mat as the lungs expand. And as you exhale, very slowly lower the arms and legs down to the mat for your final Shavasana. If you're feeling super comfy and cozy already, you can just stay. Sometimes in Shavasana, for a very grounding effect, I like to take a block and place it on the belly and notice how the breath moves the block. So the block is not there for you to exert extra effort against. It's just a subtle little bit of weight so that you can notice the block rising up as you inhale slowly and sinking down as you exhale, being carried by gravity. Using that small sense of pressure and weight from the block to guide your attention and awareness inward. Feeling the subtle waves of your body settling into the mat. Know that this is a time to rest completely. The body is integrating all the work you've done. The nervous system is softening, and you can practice full surrender. And notice any resistance that may come up in your mind to this surrender. There's a quiet kind of courage that is required to let go, a bravery in saying, I don't have to hold the weight of the world right now. I don't have to fix it, solve it, or carry it all. Here, on this mat, in this moment, you're allowed to release. You're allowed to soften. Often, we get in our own way, so you've got to give yourself that permission to relax and let go right now. No matter what kind of stories you tell yourself, Know that you don't have to earn rest. You don't have to prove your worth. Right now, just be. Just allow. Allow yourself to be held by the earth, breathing in and breathing out, with the gentle knowledge that even in doing nothing, you are enough. And so this is where I will leave you for today. Please stay longer if you have an extra few minutes. There's no rush to leave your mat. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share so I can continue to put out yoga and fitness videos for you all on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you next time. Namaste.